Okay, now it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to start this session. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this session of Class Live. My name is Jingyuan Fu. I'm an instructional designer at Class Office of Educational Technology. Class Live is a series of live stream webinars organized by our office. This series of webinars for faculty focus on a range of topics from new technology tools to pedagogical strategies for online, hybrid, and face-to-face courses. You can find all the topics for current Class Live sessions on our website. Just go to uh.edu/class/OET. You can get to the homepage of our website. And you can find Class Live here. If you click on it, you can see all the current and the previous topics for Class Live sessions. If you're interested in some sessions, but if you cannot attend the live stream webcast, the recordings will be available for you after the session. So the topic for today is strategies for enhancing presence in online courses. And we will first discuss the importance of online instructor presence, and then we will get to some effective strategies that can help to establish and enhance online instructor presence. At the same time, we will feature some transparent technology tools for implementing these strategies. We hope that by the end of the session, you'll be able to recognize how instructor presence can influence student satisfaction and engagement, and how it contributes to student success in online education. Our second objective for today is to identify some effective teaching strategies and apply corresponding supportive technologies to help to establish and enhance online instructor presence. First, let's see what instructor presence is and why it matters. To put it simply, instructor presence means being there in your class, to have your students see you behind the screen as a real person so that they can reach to you whenever they have questions and when they need help with their online learning. A more comprehensive and a complicated interpretation for online instructor presence could be found in this community of inquiry model. This model, which is known as COI framework, it is actually a framework for studies of the effectiveness and the quality of online learning. And in this model, 3 elements were identified as critical and crucial for a successful online learning experience. And you can see one of them is teaching presence. Teaching presence is referred to as instructor presence in many researches. It is defined as the design, facilitation, and the direction of cognitive and social process for the purpose of realizing personally meaningful and educationally worthwhile learning outcomes. From this COI model, we can get 2 important information about instructor presence. First, there are 2 important components in online instructor presence. They are design and facilitation. Actually, this is consistent with the research findings on the roles of an online instructor, since an online instructor's role was identified as both a designer and a facilitator in a recent study. And the second, we can see that instructor presence is identified as critical element that could influence student success. And how could the instructor presence be directly related to student success in learning? In a face-to-face classroom, it goes without saying that teaching and learning process could not be completed without the instructor's presence. So in an online classroom, this is also true. And actually, since online students tend to require more attention from instructors because of the physical distance that separates students with the instructor and with other students. And one of the challenges for online learners is that they find online lessons isolating when they cannot interact with their classmates or their teachers. So how to address this issue? It is well established that a higher degree of faculty engagement can positively influence student satisfaction and retention in online courses, in online programs. So we can see that enhancing instructor presence and engagement plays a very important role in online education. I hope this research and facts can help us to recognize how important online instructor presence is in an online course. And now let's see how to establish instructor presence in an online environment. As we have been discussed, in a face-to-face classroom, you don't need to give a second thought to online instructor presence because being there in your class is just not a problem. When class meets, instructors are physically there in class to teach, to answer students' questions, and to give student feedback. And they are there whenever students need their help. However, in an online class, the physical separation between instructor and students make it not impossible for instructors to be physically there. Therefore, establishing an online instructor presence and creating an engaging learning experience in online courses require specific instructional strategies and technologies. That is our focus for today. So based on what we have explored, I'm going to give you some practical recommendations that we have suggested for faculty. So there will be some strategies, as you can see here, and some technologies tools that you can use to establish your online presence all through your courses, from the course design to the course facilitation. And the tools that I will feature for today will be tools out of Blackboard, since we had a previous session that focused on Blackboard tools. And you are welcome to revisit this session in which our instructional designer, Tang Chuan, gave a comprehensive introduction and evaluation on Blackboard tools for enhancing online feedback. And you can find this session on our website. Here is the title and the description, and you can watch it by just clicking watch video. Now let's get into the 6 strategies for enhancing and establishing your online instructor presence. And the first strategy that I'm going to talk about is to create a video based on instructor introduction or course orientation. At the beginning of your course, a video-based introduction to welcome your students to your class and to let them see you and know you as a real person could be a good way to start off your course and to show your students that you are there. You are there to teach, you are there to help them. Now let's look at an example that I have created for a faculty member. Her name is Dr. Melody Yuns Lee, and she is a faculty member in the Department of Modern and Classical Languages. And she gave me the permission to share this video. Now let's watch it.
Hi, welcome everyone to Survey of Chinese Literature, which is both a literature and a language course. As for literature, we will read from pre-modern to modern and contemporary Chinese literature. Through this, we will learn about the cultural transformations of Chinese society. As for language, we will learn to read in both classical and modern language. So by the end of the class, you're supposed to read in both, which is a lot of fun. Let me introduce myself. I'm Melody Yunzi Li. I teach in the Chinese program within modern and classical languages at University of Houston. I hope you will consider joining us on this fabulous journey, and I hope to see you all. Thank you.
Okay, so as you can see in this video, it's a very short video that gives students a lot of good information about the course. Students will see what they will learn and what to expect for this course. And the most important thing is that the instructor shows up in the video as a real person and briefly introduced herself. This is a good practice that we recommend at the beginning of the course to show your presence. And it can also add a personal touch and to enhance your connection with your students. Here are a few tools that I recommended for you to create an introduction video like this. For each of the strategy that I will talk about today, I will recommend a few tools for implementing each strategy. And the first tool that I recommended is usually the tool that I was used to create the example. So for this example, I use Adobe Spark Video to create the video. And you can absolutely use WeVideo or Powtoon to create a video like this. Since all the tools that I recommend today are transparent educational tools, which means they are very intuitive and easy to learn, so that users or students can focus more on the academic, so that the students or the faculty can focus on more on the academic content rather than the learning the technology itself. And for most of the tools, you can learn how to use it by just playing around with yourself or by watching some simple student tutorials provided on their website. And please feel free to contact me or our office if you want to discuss any of the tools in detail. Here are some practical tips that I have for you. And when you use any of these tools, like Adobe Spark Video to create an introduction video, a short story map will help you to create your video more efficiently. It also helps you if you want to make, let's say, some changes to your video later. And always try to keep your video short and to the point, since longer videos tend to bore students. For videos or all other visuals that you use in your course, it would be great if you can add captions or scripts for accessibility purposes. The second strategy that I'm going to talk about is to make your syllabus more interactive. A syllabus is a very important part in a course, as we all know, because it includes a lot of important information about a course. As opposed to the traditional text-heavy syllabus, creating an interactive and engaging syllabus using some other multimedia elements, such as audio, video, images, or animation, could help to convey the messages more effectively. And for students, instead of just being a passive recipient who read a traditional word file syllabus, an interactive syllabus could make students feel more connected to the instructor and feel that the instructor presence in the design of the syllabus. Now let's take a look at this syllabus that I created for Dr. Lee using the tool ThinkLink. First, we'll see a flyer. Actually, this is a course flyer that was created by Dr. Lee, and I use it as an image to create this interactive syllabus. And you can see several links on the syllabus. So let's say if you look at the name of the course, and if you click on the link, if you have your mouse hover over the link and click the link, you will see a course introduction video. It's like this. It's actually the video that I used to create the course video. I'm not going to play it because of the time. And here, you can see above this title, you can see another link. Actually, it's a link to the actual Word file syllabus, which contains a lot of other information about the course policy and the course schedules and things like that. Here, on the time, about the time of the class meets, you can see a link which link you to a PDF file. That's a file that the instructor wants to share with students before or after class for them to review. And if you want to know more about the instructor, just click this link. It links to the instructor's own personal website. So syllabus like this, it can actually make the students feel more engaged to the class, because it's not just a traditional syllabus which only includes all the text, and the students can feel and see the instructor presence when reading a syllabus like this instead of just a word file syllabus. So in this kind of interactive syllabus, I recommend to include a biography of yourself to have your students get to know you better. It could be a video introduction or just a link to your website. And students would appreciate opportunities to have one-to-one communication with the instructor, because they may feel more personalized connection and attention from the instructor. If you create an interactive syllabus like this one that I have created in the example, try to create no more than 5 links so that it will be easier for students to follow. And if you choose to create an infographic syllabus instead, try to use headings, short sentences, or charts for organization and for students' quick reference. The next one is about discussion. A discussion forum is very important, and it's a great virtual place for instructors and students to connect to each other. So I would suggest to participate in the student discussion forums and model proper online discussion. When you participate in your students' discussion and try to add some perspective on each topic and respond to students' questions, that would show that you really care about your students and you are there to support them. And this could help you gain a better trust from your students. Creating a discussion board using tools such as Padlet can give you flexibility to participate and guide the discussion in multiple ways. So here I recommend tools like Padlet, Lino, and the Stormboard. And since these tools all support multimedia sharing, which allows you to post text, images, audio, and videos. So this can really help to promote interaction and enhance student experience by mimicking the traditional face-to-face classroom. Let's take a look at this Padlet discussion forum, and you can see the title and the description of the discussion topic, and you can see all the replies here. So this is a discussion for a class when I was working on the master's degree, and for the privacy reason, I hided all the names, but you can see like how the content be posted. You can see some of them are just like Blackboard post with purely text, and some of them also have some links to the website or some images. If you want, you can actually like a post by just by clicking this heart, and you can give them comments as an instructor. And if you want to create your own like post, you can just click that the button, the plus button, and post your something here. And so it allows you to post multimedia elements instead of just text. That's why I like this this tool a lot for discussion. And Padlet or other recommended tools here are good for group discussions and like some kind of informal class discussions. It is good to be used as a class back channel because you can use Blackboard discussions to assign some weekly, asynchronously, asynchronous discussions, and use Padlet for some additional discussions or some either synchronously or asynchronously. Another important thing when you use these tools is to set the discussion privacy setting to secret or password protected so that there would be no possibility for it to be hacked by someone outside the class. Excuse me. Next strategy that I would recommend is to give students timely response to their questions. Timely response is very important for students because it keeps your students engaged in your online course. In a face-to-face class, students can just get response immediately right in class or after class when they meet with the instructors. However, in an online course, it could be very frustrating for students if they cannot get the same kind of prompt response from the instructor. And actually, the reality is the instructor could not always be online at the same time when the students ask a question through Blackboard or emails. So it's actually does take some time before students can get response from instructors. To address this issue, instructors like checking their emails or Blackboard messages as often as possible could be one solution. Also, some instant messaging tool such as GroupMe, WhatsApp can help to solve this problem. Here you can see this is a screenshot from a discussion for chatting for a class. And you can see someone here ask a question. Can anyone access quiz 3? And I can't. Then the instructor immediately replied, sorry, sorry about that, and that's fixed now. So like this, students can get an immediate response to simple questions like this that will make them feel that the instructor is really there to help them when they are frustrated or when they have problems to get access to some course content. And if you can see some other words here, actually there are some discussions or some chattings between the students and other students, like between classmates. So actually this is also a good virtual place for students to help each other for peer answering questions or helping each other. Although this is actually very convenient for students, it could be overwhelming if you keep getting students' messages, let's say if you are in a meeting or in a class. And it could help if you set some question and answer hours when you are using tools like GroupMe. It could be just 15 minutes, depending on your schedule. Since communications through GroupMe is some kind of informal communication within your course. However, online etiquette is still required and is also important. So I recommend to remind your students of online etiquette in their chatting and model some good online etiquette for them. Next, I'm going to talk about how to improve your feedback with audio or video commentary. Feedback is also a very important element of instruction. And effective feedback can really enhance and improve teaching and learning outcomes. How to provide your students with specific, focused, friendly, and educative feedback to build trust between you and your students in your online course. So I would suggest here some effective audio or video feedback to help you achieve this purpose. You can see in this example, I created some test video feedback using Flipgrid. And you can use Flipgrid to create a recording video up to 90 seconds. Actually, it is also a good time limit for giving feedback. And then you can upload the videos and share it with your students. Students can they may feel the feeling of just they are seeing you as a real person to give them feedback. So this kind of tool is ideal for giving feedback for group projects instead of personal feedback, because all the students in the same platform or in the same group can see your feedback. When you are giving feedback using your audio or video tools, natural and academic conversation style feedback are encouraged for faculty. It can set a good example for your students. And also, if you plan on modeling peer feedback, it's also a good example for your students to follow. Tools like Flipgrid allows you to share videos among your class group, so you can definitely use it for giving and sharing peer feedback. Finally, the last strategy that I'm going to talk about is design some synchronous sessions to meet and interact with your students. Since most online courses are offered as asynchronous courses, and there will be no real-time contact with your students, but you can change this by designing some synchronous sessions in your course. And the research has proved that like synchronous sessions in online courses can allow online students to interact with instructor and peers in a real time. And these kind of sessions in an online classroom can improve students' sense of community and social presence. One of the tools that I like best about video conferencing is Zoom, because Zoom is one of the most frequently used web conference tool, and it's very easy to use, very intuitive. And actually now I'm using Zoom for this webinar. So when you meet your students online using Zoom, you can give lectures, like giving presentations like I'm doing right now, and you can share your screen and authorize your students to talk or share documents online for presentation or discussion. And so the interface of Zoom is very, very simple. It's very easy to use, and you can see very directly like these basic functions just right here. When you are using Zoom web conferencing tools such as Zoom, it's strongly recommended to record your synchronous sessions to keep as a record. And also you can share your recordings with your students who are not able to attend the synchronous sessions. And if you want your students to meet virtually online for a discussion or for group projects, you can create recurring sessions, recurring meetings for them to use. Okay, that's all that I have for you for today. And now please feel free to ask questions or leave some feedback. And if you have no questions for now, I'm going to end this session. And you can contact our office or directly reach to me with any questions that you may have about this topic for today. And thank you.